I admit everything. I framed your father, I bribed the guards, and I ordered the murder in the prison. What are you gonna do about it?
The man Han Ji-woo trusted for 7 years was finally telling the truth. Not because he felt guilty, not because he wanted forgiveness, but because he believed she was about to die. Standing inside an abandoned shipyard, the man she called family calmly admitted murdering her father. He admitted destroying her life. He admitted turning her into a weapon against the wrong man. And what happened next would change the entire Seoul underworld forever. Before we continue, if you love Korean Mafia romance, dark revenge stories, billionaire secrets, and shocking plot twists, make sure you subscribe to Love, Lies, and Fate Korean Stories. Because the final battle between Han Ji-woo, Kang Min-jae, and the mastermind behind everything starts now. Han Ji-woo stared at the photograph. Her entire body went numb. The face staring back at her wasn't a rival gangster. It wasn't Kang Min-jae's enemy. It wasn't a politician or a corrupt executive. It was the man she trusted most. The man who stood beside her father's grave. The man who comforted her after every nightmare. The man who spent 7 years helping her search for justice. Her father's closest friend, Chairman Lee Seung-ho. The uncle she never had. The mentor she trusted. The monster she never saw coming. Ji-woo wanted to deny it. She wanted to believe the evidence was fake. But the documents told a different story. 7 years earlier, her father discovered a massive money laundering operation. An operation secretly controlled by Lee Seung-ho. When her father threatened to expose him, Lee Seung-ho framed him, destroyed his reputation, then arranged his murder inside prison. But that wasn't enough. He needed someone to remove the only man powerful enough to expose him, Kang Min-jae. So he turned a grieving daughter into a weapon. Suddenly, Min-jae's phone vibrated. His expression changed instantly. The devil of Seoul looked afraid. For the first time in years, multiple territories were under attack. Warehouses burned. Executives disappeared. Accounts were frozen. Armed men were moving through the city. Lee Seung-ho wasn't hiding anymore. He was launching a coup, and Seoul had just become a battlefield. For 7 years, Ji-woo dreamed of destroying Kang Min-jae. Now she finally knew the truth. The man she hated had protected her. The man she trusted had destroyed her life. Standing inside the penthouse, she made a choice. Not revenge. War. She looked into Min-jae's eyes, then handed him the file, and said, "Let's finish this together." Lee Seung-ho believed Ji-woo was still his pawn. That was his first mistake, because nobody knew his secrets better than she did. His routines, his safe houses, his trusted allies, his weaknesses. For years he taught her how powerful people think. Now she would use every lesson against him. The student had become more dangerous than the teacher. Instead of fighting back immediately, Ji-woo created a trap. She contacted Lee Seung-ho and pretended she still trusted him. The old man believed every word. Why wouldn't he? For 7 years, she had done exactly what he wanted. He never imagined she knew the truth, and that arrogance would cost him everything. The meeting took place inside an abandoned shipyard, exactly where Ji-woo wanted. Lee Seung-ho arrived with soldiers, believing victory was already his. What he didn't know was that every ally he trusted had already betrayed him. Every account had been seized, every hidden file copied, every escape route blocked. The trap had already closed. When Lee Seung-ho saw Ji-woo, he smiled, the same smile he used for years, the smile of a man pretending to care. But Ji-woo wasn't the broken girl he remembered. She wasn't searching for justice anymore. She already found the truth, and the truth was standing in front of her. For the first time, Lee Seung-ho stopped pretending. He admitted everything, framing her father, buying prison guards, ordering the murder, manipulating Ji-woo. Every lie, every betrayal, every death, he confessed because he believed he had already won. He didn't realize the entire conversation was being recorded. Then the darkness moved. Luxury black vehicles surrounded the shipyard. Hundreds of armed men emerged. And at the center of them all, Kang Min-jae, the devil of Seoul, the man Lee Sung-ho spent years trying to destroy. Desperate men make desperate choices. Lee Sung-ho pulled a gun and aimed directly at Ji-woo, but before he could pull the trigger, a shot echoed across the shipyard. Then silence. The old mastermind collapsed. Not killed by Min-jae. Killed by the very bodyguard he paid to protect him. Even loyalty has a price. By morning, every news station in Seoul was broadcasting the confession. The evidence was undeniable. Han Ji-woo's father was innocent. The criminal charges were erased. His reputation restored. 7 years of lies finally ended. Weeks later, the underworld had changed. Rivals disappeared, traitors surrendered, and a new power rose. Not Kang Min-jae alone, but Kang Min-jae and Han Ji-woo together. King and queen, feared, respected, untouchable. 1 year later, the city glittered beneath them. The war was over. The enemies were gone. And for the first time in years, Ji-woo felt peace. She looked at Min-jae, the man she once planned to destroy. The man she nearly lost before she truly understood him. Then she smiled, because sometimes the greatest love story begins with the greatest lie. Han Ji-woo entered Kang Min-jae's life as a weapon. She became his greatest ally. She came seeking revenge. She found the truth. And together, they built an empire nobody could challenge. Because in Seoul, the most dangerous thing wasn't power. It was two people willing to burn the world for each other. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video. Subscribe to Love, Lies, and Fate Afro-Korean stories for more dark romance, mafia love stories, billionaire secrets, and shocking plot twists. And tell us in the comments, when did you realize Kang Min-jae wasn't the real villain? And if you were Han Ji-woo, could you forgive the man you spent 7 years trying to destroy? Or would revenge still win? Until next time, stay safe. Because sometimes, the most dangerous enemies aren't the ones you fear. They're the ones you trust.